Hello?
Hey.
Wait a minute. Hold on one second. It's Power 105.
Yeah.
It's Power 1051, by the way, everybody. So my show producer says the mayor's on the phone. And I say, you mean somebody from the mayor's office is on the phone? He says, I believe, no, it's the mayor on the phone. Did you
You know,
did you
it's like
actually
a
pick
small
up?
town around here.
I have never had a conversation with anybody from on any political level who has actually been on the phone themselves from the beginning. So just I shouldn't be surprised, I guess, at this point in our relationship, Mr.
I
Mayor.
I know how to dial a phone. Okay, I want you to know I have that skill set.
you
Okay,
you haven't forgotten yet at this
I
point.
have not. I don't want to forget either.
How are you?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm good. It's so good to talk to you. The last time I saw our fine mayor was at City Hall, and believe it or not, my whole life I grew up in New York. I've worked for so many years here. I've never actually even been inside of City Hall. And then my first time to be there, I accepted a great honor from our mayor.
And you deserved it.
Thank
because
you.
I'm going to brag on you.
I'll take it. Go ahead then, since you're
Okay,
here.
I'm going to need, probably a half hour for this. But we honored you and the city council honored you because you've been a real inspiration to a lot of people in this city. And you also have taken your fame, your celebrity, and constantly used it for good and helped people talk about issues that deserved a lot more attention. And it's something that makes us very, very proud of you.
Thank you so much. You're not going to get me. You're not going to bring me to tears today.
I'll
Thank
keep
you.
trying.
What you did the other day. You did as some of the young. It was it was a celebration of Puerto Ricans in New York that day, and there were some young women there that were amazing, and it was all very inspiring. So it was a great day, and I thank you so much for that honor. And I know we have, first of all, I know we're talking about kids today because I know this pre-K for all is coming up on a deadline that we want to promote today.
We sure do. Wednesday, March 9th.
That's tomorrow, everybody. Tomorrow, March 9th is the deadline.
Yeah, and I really want to say this to my fellow parents. Now we have had pre-K over the last 2 years. It's now available, full day for every child in the city for free. Now, Angie, help me with this key message to your listeners. For free.
For free. So I got some of the points from your office. They sent me on how it's been going so far, and it said the average family saves $10,000 a year just in this alone,
Yep.
and that it's going pretty well.
And listen to this. We did a survey. We had an independent firm do a survey of 1,100 families. 92% of those families rated their pre-K experience very positively. And what parents are telling us is kids are learning a lot. They are ready for, and teachers will tell us this too, they're ready for school the next year. They're really focused. They're better behaved. It's an amazing impact. But you got to be, here's the message to parents again, you got to be in it to win it. And you got to register. You got to apply. So by the end of Wednesday, you have till the end of Wednesday, March 9th. And how do you do it? You can call 311, or you can go online, nyc.gov/pre-K.
Mm-hmm.
And all of the options are there. Literally, you go online, they'll show you every single center, every neighborhood. You can choose the one that works best for your child and apply for that. And I want to remind parents, you said average savings, $10,000. For some people, it's more like $15,000, depending on what they would have done as an alternative.
Wow.
But, if you want the best choice, if you want the closest one to you, or where you live, the closest one to where you work, or whatever it may be, you got to apply now to maximize the chance of getting the choice you want. So no parent should delay. If your child is 4 years old this year, you should be applying by Wednesday.
Can we talk about our primaries for a second while I have you on the phone?
Of course we can. It's quite a fascinating topic, wouldn't you say?
It's quite a fascinating time, Mr. Mayor, wouldn't you say?
Yes, a little too fascinating at times.
I was thinking about this earlier because I knew you were going to call in, and I've been slightly frightened. I've been disappointed. I've been confused. But for somebody like you who's been in politics for over 20 years, did you ever think you'd see the day where Donald Trump was this far in a presidential race?
No. That's a real easy question to answer. No.
And how did we get here?
How did we get here? I think there's actually some reasons that have a certain logic to them, and I think it's important to look at them. So first of all, I think there's tremendous frustration around this country over the state of people's economic reality. Here's the thing.
Okay.
The Great Recession hit, and for a long time the effects really weren't talked about the way they should have. But what it meant was some millions and millions of Americans had themselves set back, foreclosures, jobs lost, really undermined economically, very personal, very emotional reality. And that was on top of what we've seen over really 20 or 30 years of middle-class people and working-class people going backwards economically, their real earning power actually declining.
Mm-hmm.
And what has happened at the same time? The wealth and power concentrated in the hands of the 1% in a way that was unimaginable in the past. The extraordinary concentration of wealth and power in a way that for a lot of us doesn't represent the values of this country. So that all happened. People saw it before their very eyes, and it built an intense frustration and anger, and there was no real response to address that. So then along comes Donald Trump with one kind of message, Hillary Clinton and Bernie Sanders with another kind of message. Now, I'd like to remind you, a lot of people are responding to a much more positive message from the Democratic side,
mm-hmm.
and that message is, let's make the wealthy pay their fair share in taxes. Let's have higher wages and benefits, higher minimum wage, paid sick leave, paid family leave. Let's have things like pre-K available for everyone. That's the message coming from Hillary Clinton and Bernie Sanders, and that's really resonating. The Trump message, which is xenophobic, negative, divisive, is let's blame other people for our situation. Let's blame immigrants. Let's blame people of color. Let's blame Muslims. You name it.
What?
And that message some people respond to, but I don't think that's a majority message in this country.
But
and
there's a surprising number of, a startling and depressing number of people that are responding to that. And I can't understand what that is. The only thing that I've come up with in talking to other people too is that because I guess there are so many people that are kind of discouraged with politics and the system that they feel when somebody's kind of like shooting from the hip. And the fact that he doesn't speak like a politician, that maybe is resonating with people?
Well, and not unfairly, because, look, one thing I think that's agreed upon pretty much across the spectrum, there's tremendous frustration with the Congress, for example, the paralysis, the level of partisanship where things don't get done. And so people look at that and they say, okay, that's the political class, particularly the federal political class, and they're not serving us. Whatever's going on, they're not serving us.
Right.
And so when someone comes along and he doesn't seem that way, and he criticizes the establishment, that particular appeal, that's not necessarily unfair, nor is it, something that belongs to only the right wing or the left wing. So anyone who said Congress isn't working, the political class is letting us down.
Right.
That's like factual. Where Trump takes it, that changes the equation, is he then adds the negativity, the divisiveness, the xenophobia, the anger towards immigrants, like all the pieces that make it divisive. You can be angry at the status quo and angry at the government, but that doesn't mean you have to hate other people, and that's the difference. I don't think that hatred is a majority position. I think it's what Trump is peddling, and so far, the people who are doing the voting tend to be more conservative Republicans. We really haven't seen a cross-section of Americans voting with Trump on the ballot. We've seen a smaller slice of the Republican Party who actually turns out to vote. So I think there's a lot of time for the better impulses in this country to assert themselves.
All right. Well, everybody can make their own decision, but I beg everybody, if never before, this is the year and this is the time for you to vote. Besides, on the website, we've also listed where everybody can register to vote. If you're not registered already, and all the dates and the deadlines, or for when you can, whether you're in New York, New Jersey, or Connecticut. So I'm going to do a whole post so everybody will have all their voting information and also the deadlines if you want to register your child for pre-K, pre-K for all. The deadline is Wednesday, March 9th, and we'll have links for you up on so that you can make sure you do that. And it is always amazing to hear from our mayor. Thank you so much for calling in today.
It was a great joy to be with you, Angie. I appreciate everything you do for this city. And I appreciate the whole dialogue that you foster, and you give people hope because you're having a serious discussion, unlike what you referred to earlier, what some of the
about the
media
size
wants.
of someone's penis in politics. Is there a place for this in the world?
I'm more interested in the size of his vision than. But I really appreciate that you help people in this city think about the big issues and think seriously. I just have one quick question for you.
I'm scared.
Just one. No, it's a real simple one. This whole pre-K thing for all the kids in New York City, how much is it going to cost families to put their kid in pre-K?
You mean outside of pre-K for all? You mean how much does it?
No, if they're in pre-K for all, how much will it cost them?
Oh, that would be free.
Could you say that again, please?
That would be that would cost.
Zero.
It's like what we call a 5-finger discount.
There you go.
You swipe it for free.
Now you've made it plain to everyone.
All right, everybody. Register. Tell a friend who needs it. Pre-K for all is available for all our kids out here, and it's super important, as is it for you guys to vote and get involved. All the links are up on the site. Can we have an applause on the one side for our fine mayor of New York City, Bill de Blasio?
Thank you, my dear.
I'll
You
see
be
you
well.
soon.